Okay, welcome back after a 4-day weekend. Hope you guys had an enjoyable time. Who cooked or baked something? What'd you guys make? Top ramen.
I made my family dinner for some reason, but I mean, it's absolutely gone in my brain.
Okay, all right, pressure's on. All right, think on that. Chicken quesadillas. Pizza from scratch? Like a frozen pizza. All right. I'll give you credit. We're gonna talk about that. What is it from scratch? Pizza from scratch? Oh, yeah. One up you right there, really quick, right? No pizza out of the box over here on station 5. Okay. What else? Yeah, Max. Brownies. Bake some brownies. What else? Anything else? Baked cookies and made what? Papusas. And
like quesadillas, but like clothes.
yeah, like a sort of like a dumpling style clothes. Yeah. All right. Okay.
I also made like
Fruit roll-ups.
Yeah.
Like with peaches or apples or what?
Well, we've done like different flavors before, like peach and strawberry and blueberry, but this time we just did blackberries.
Yeah, all right. I was thinking something that's in season, right? So, and you guys went and picked the blackberries?
I think we already actually
Had them in the freezer or something, or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it was picked or something, but I think it was.
Okay, all right, cool. Love the idea of going, picking, harvesting. Blackberries are all coming in right now. What else?
I made like garlic bread out of Hawaiian rolls. It was so good.
Garlic bread. All right. Super cool. I fired up the offset smoker this weekend. So I've got this Kingman Wichita offset smoker. It's like a $3,500 smoker, and I got up at 1:30 yesterday morning. Not the one that we just got done, but the one previous. And it was my wife's birthday today, so we did a big birthday celebration yesterday. So I fired up, did a 11-hour cook on a brisket, did about a 5-hour cook on 3 racks of ribs, cooked up a like a Parmesan garlic grilled potato salad, then did green salad with the peach porcine dressing, and then took the beef fat from the brisket and cooked it down. Who likes pork skins? Yep. So chicharrones, right? So did that with beef, fried it, seasoned it, put that on the salad as a garnish, a little crunch. Then did Mexican style corn, right? So street corn, right? Grilled it, lime juice, cojita cheese, paprika, and then made a spicy adobo cream sauce to drizzle on the corn, some cilantro. Let's see, what else did we make? Yeah, something along those lines. So cooked sort of heavy. I mean, honestly, it was a good 12-hour run. So I got up at 1:30 and just stayed up, did like 10-minute naps to keep feeding the wood on the fire. So it was something. It was fun. So, but I'm excited to be back at it. So I cooked as well. Love cooking, and so I always love the fact that I do what it is that I do professionally. I do it every day at home. So that's what I made. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to talk about course material and learning expectations today. Continue to drill in on that, and we're just dealing with engagement, right? What are my expectations on your level of engagement? What are my expectations on my level of engagement? Okay. And good example is right when I'm talking, you're not, right? Right. Good. So when I'm talking, you're not. You're listening. You're learning, right? That's an example of the things that we're covering. One of the things that I want to pass around now is I want to pass around on a clipboard. If you have a name that you prefer to be called, I'm finally getting to this. Last week was sort of a tough week because we had sort of 2 days that were sort of wonky based on the schedule. Friday or Thursday was our only really good instructional day, and still not a Monday Friday schedule, which is the longest day. So, and we still don't have a Monday Friday schedule today because it's Tuesday. So we're getting in a little bit less instructional time, but I'm finally catching up. I want you to, now that the rosters are sort of settled in, I want you to look at the document that's passing around the room, and you're just going to I'm going to fold it over. So you're just looking at first period. All right. And I want you to simply, if there's a nickname, okay, that you would like me to call you, you're going to just simply write that nickname in the column by your name, okay? If you go by the name that's in the system, then you don't need to change anything. No need to write anything. Just pass the clipboard along, okay? So I'm going to pass that around starting here at station 1. Hi. All right. So I'm going to pass it around. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ben, you can hand it back to me, okay? And so please, again, you're only going to write a name if the name that's on there isn't what you want me to call you. And please write it what? Legibly. Thank you very much. Right. That's going to help me make that adjustment. I'll change it on the rosters, okay, for signing in. And I'll start, as I learn your names, I'll start to make sure that I'm studying the name that you would prefer to go by. This is an example of what it will look like on the roster when we're done. Okay, so if you have a nickname, this is the time to give it to me. All right, Google Classroom. I think we've got everybody in Google Classroom. So 100%. So no need to worry about that. I know that everybody's in. Orientation quiz. Okay, we've crushed that. Great job. Okay, I appreciate your level of engagement with that, getting it completed. I saw for the most part, high scores. So I appreciate that we were at the table, and I'm going to go ahead and really quickly just sort of look here at what our sort of course average was and see sort of how we did overall. And so I'm going to pull that up and let's just see what our scores sort of came to as a group of people. So pulling that up, and let's go ahead and go to the orientation quiz. And our average score, let's simmer down there. Our average score for the class for the course orientation quiz, it's just syncing here. Out of 25 points, sorry, it's still coming up. Come on. Let's see. Well, I can't get Google Classroom to load that average for some reason. So, 91.28. 91.28 in the culinary class, and for the baking and pastry class, our average was syncing. And come on, 91.31. Wow, impressive, you guys. So we have an A average for the first assignment. So great job on applying yourself and getting that done. Okay, moving right along. All right, we've got an ed puzzle that I'm not going to give you because we're cooking along and we're doing good on that. I'm going to move right into. So we've got the first week of the semester, and I do the pizza graphic on the top of my lecture. I do it as a representation of how many weeks we have in the semester. So even though it was a 3-day week last week, it still counted as 6% of our time in the semester. So as a result, we are now 6% of the way through the semester. All right. One of the things that we're going to do today, I'm going to skip. We're doing the last call, obviously, for this. This is going around. Okay. I'm going to review the syllabus, as you can see right here, and then continue to set learning expectations. So we're going to just keep on moving along. Tardy reminder, right? So, right, we have a new tardy policy. And when you arrive to any of your classes here now at Battleground High School, you want to make sure that you are first on time, and second, that you, if you do show up late, there's going to always be a clipboard, all right, that's in the room, and you want to use that clipboard and sign in that you're tardy. So this is what that form looks like, okay? Thank you so much, okay? And then somebody left their pen. Whose pen is this? Nice job. All right, so got a couple nicknames. Great. Thanks for that. And so when you come in late, okay, my expectation is that you use the tardy. Thank you. The tardy sign-in sheet. Okay. And so make sure you sign in here and you sign in on my roster so we get that dialed in and you're good to go and we get your attendance right. Okay. School tardy policy. Cell phone policy reminder completely changed. Right. The bottom line is this: when your personal device, okay, and mine somebody's in my front yard and mine just went off. I'm turning mine off, putting it over here. Right. So when your personal device is out during a scheduled class period, okay, and that includes Tiger Time. If you are flex, All right. If you are flex during Tiger Time, that's the only time that you will be able to be on your cell phone during the scheduled class time during an academic period because you're flex and you're at a designated space. So once we start doing Tiger Time, that's a privilege you receive as a student here at Battleground High School. Okay. Otherwise, okay, and that's when we start doing Tiger Time. So we're gonna have a week and a half that we're not doing that. So during Tiger Time for the next week and a half, you still cannot have cell phones out. So once we have the flex people going to those designated locations, you'll be checked in there and you'll be able to use your cell phone. All right, but otherwise, during academic learning times, there is no cell phone use, right? That's the new policy. Let's talk about, I know I gave you an overview of me last week, all right, getting into that a little bit more in detail, right? Let's talk about my teaching philosophy. I believe that it's important to have fun in the learning process, okay? I even already have given you guys one dad joke today, okay? So having fun is important, okay? I think that if we can have a good time, if you get my expectations, you deliver on the expectations, literally the outcome of that is we have a more fun experience in here. And then the byproduct of that is, I think, better learning. Okay, and so that's really the way I want to start. I believe it's if my expectations are clear, you have the greatest opportunity, okay, in this course to succeed. Now, can your definition of success vary, okay, from one person to the next? Yeah. So give me some examples. Raise your hand. What's an example that you might define success as in this class? Give me an example. Yes.
Learn how to cook it.
All right, learning how to cook good, right? Developing your skills. Absolutely a good definition of success. What else might demonstrate success? Yeah. Getting an A. Yeah, the letter grade that you receive could be a demonstration of success. Give me two more examples of what might define success in your class, in your experience. Yeah. Yeah, teamwork, right? A byproduct, okay? Gentlemen, simmer down, all right? Sort of coming on the last warnings here, all right? All right, so absolutely, okay, working as a team, all right, collaborating. All right, the one thing is, what do they say? Many hands make light lifting, right? Many hands make light lifting. Okay, you think about like when they're building the Egyptian pyramids, right? What they moved, they had to move together, right? So your learning experience will only be easier if you work what? Together. Okay. All right. Um, and then obviously some of you will be in this boat that you simply define success as what? What do you think? Trying your best, but some of you might be okay with just what? Oh no, I love having fun. I love that. But some of you might define success as just passing the class. Okay? Now, if that's your expectation, you don't have to raise your hand and identify yourself. But I'm not, look, that's a better goal than my definition of success is failing the class, right? All right. Anybody here wanting to fail the class? It's funny, every semester I ask this question, and every semester on average I fail about 5% of my students. Is anybody here wanting to fail? Raise your hand.
No.
Okay, nobody wants to fail. So I'm going to hold you to that, okay? And I'm going to remind you, I'm going to play this recording back, all right? We had an agreement. You guys said that you didn't want to fail, all right? So the key is staying engaged, working as a team, having fun. You will then have a fun, productive learning experience in here, but I think also more importantly, you're going to develop skills that are going to serve you in life in general. I believe learning is a partnership. Who is the partnership between?
Me and you.
All right, so myself and you guys, absolutely. That's one partnership. What's the other partnership in here? Yeah, absolutely. All right, why do you think that I decided at the beginning of the semester to allow you to sit by the people that you know? Yeah, there's a relationship that's already in place, whether it's like superficial or shallow or deep, and we're best friends, besties, whatever it might be. The key is this. We've got a latitude of partnerships that are going on. It's you with me, it's me with you, it's you with your team, and me with your team. Okay? And so if we are thoughtful about that, we'll have an increased quality of learning experience. I believe that you begin the course with an A, and right, the evidence, okay, all the grades that are in Google Classroom right now for the orientation quiz, right, both baking and pastry and culinary arts students on average have received an A on their orientation quiz, okay, which is great. And I will push those grades today into Skyward. So I'll begin doing Skyward grading today. You'll start to see that. And again, a reminder, Skyward is an accumulative representation of your grade in Google Classroom. I am one of the only teachers in this school that does full grading in Google Classroom. You have full access to your assignments, my feedback, my rubrics, everything. Skyward can't do all that. And so I simply take the number in Google Classroom once a week and I drop it into Skyward, okay? And so remember, in my class, the place to check your grade is in Google Classroom. And then I update that grade once a week on Mondays in Skyward, okay? I'll do it today, even though it's Tuesday, okay? And so I'll do an update in Skyward for this week, and then for every week going forward, every Monday by the end of the day, okay, by the time I walk out of here, my end of the day, I'll have your grade updated in Skyward. I'm committed to updating your grades once a week in Skyward, okay? That's my commitment to you. That's an example of our partnership, okay? How many of you, just rate show of hands, how many of you have had teachers that literally don't grade for weeks and weeks, okay? That's crap. All right, you can quote me on that, okay? We owe it to you to have you know where you are in the learning process, okay? That's super important because then you know how to adjust, how to even readdress learning if you need to. But if we keep you in the dark on your grade, the other thing that I won't do, and I'll talk about it a little bit more down the road, part of my partnership with you is I grade on the deadline. So literally the deadline for the orientation quiz that happens this week, anybody else who has not completed that assignment on that deadline day, I put a 0 into the grade book because I want you to know what your grade is all the time. I don't put an asterisk in Skyward. I don't even use Skyward at that level. All right, I do everything in Google Classroom, but I don't put a placeholder. If you and I have an agreement, I'm like, yeah, you can be late on that with no penalty because I don't penalize you for being late in this class. But if there is no, you can be late, and I put a placeholder in there in Google Classroom, even though it has that function now. I don't do that. I simply, when you don't hit the deadline, I give you a 0, all right? Because I want that to motivate you. Oh, I got to do that. I got to get my grade up, okay? So I don't inflate your grade falsely, all right? A lot of teachers will be like, oh, I'll just write it out, put asterisks, all right, in the assignment in Skyward, and then students really don't know what their real grade is, and I think that's not a good practice, okay? I believe in translating. I believe in translating what you learn in class to your lives each and every day. Cooking, right? I want you to do that. I want you to apply your learning. All right. We're gonna learn more about experiential learning credit. That's when you go home. All of you, anybody who cooked this weekend, did you take a picture of your food? Okay. So going down the road, if you take a picture, submit it in the Google Classroom stream. Tell me what you made and what you learned. One sentence. I made brownies, and I learned that it's important to preheat the oven in advance so the oven's ready when I finish mixing the brownies, whatever. So if you learned that, post it in the stream. I give you 5 points of experiential learning credit because you're reinforcing our fundamental skills, our essential standards in this class related to cooking or baking. Okay, question?
So if I just cooked a bunch, if I had a bad grade, I got my grade up.
Yeah, so you can get as much as 10% of your grade. Great question. You can get as much as 10% of your grade in experiential learning credit. All right, so you can move your grade up to 10%. So if you have a B, you can move it to an A if you do a bunch of cooking at home. All right, but you can't get more than 10% of your grade. So at the end of the semester, I do a math on total points available and awarded, and I do the math on how many people earn experiential learning credit. And if anybody achieves over 10%, I reduce that number down to 10%. So you can move your grade, but it doesn't replace what we do in class. All right, so there's no way you can have an F in the class and get an A because you do experiential learning credit. Okay, good question. Okay, I believe that it's my responsibility to inspire you, challenge you, and ensure rigor is evident in the learning process. Some students don't come back and take my class just simply because I have rigor in this class. And they think, oh, it's an elective, it should be easy. We should come, eat, cook, and come cook and eat and be done. All right, but there's thought required in my class. There's assessment required. There's reflection required. So that rigor, though it's an elective course, is important, and I'm committed as a professional to have that rebar in the class, that structure in the class that's going to ensure evidence learning, okay? I believe that theory, lectures, video, demo, the Ruby Online platforms support a diversity of learning styles. My goal is to accommodate your learning styles in a lot of different ways, okay? I do that in this class in the culinary class through demonstration. Some of you are going to learn visually. Some of you are going to taste the food from the demonstration and better understand what it is you're supposed to be producing when you produce that food. So I look at how you learn in different ways, and some of you will learn more kinesthetically, hands-on. Some of you will learn more, right, by going through Ruby and doing the online content. So we have a diversity of different applications in the learning process available to you to accommodate your learning styles. What I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and distribute our course syllabus. Thank you. I'm going to distribute the course syllabus. We don't have a waiver in our class anymore. The Career Technical Education Department is paying for you to take this class, so you don't have a course fee associated with it anymore. Some classes still do, so you would need to check with the ASB office if you need to learn more about that. What I want to do is, in a moment, when we get to independent work, I'm going to give you time to review the syllabi. I'm going to go ahead and go over the highlights. The one thing I want you to do is when you get a copy of it, this is sort of your binding agreement with me, and so I want you to put your name at the top. You do not need to take this home and have your parents sign it, okay? I'm a parent. I have a son, that goes to Battleground. When he hands me syllabi to sign, do you think I read that syllabus in its entirety? No, I don't. How many of your parents read your syllabus when you take it to them to sign? Do they read it in its entirety? Yeah. I just don't think it's an effective practice. And so we're not going to require you to do that. All right. So what I want to do now, I'm going to go ahead. Listen. You're going to put your name at the top. I'll actually put a 2-minute timer on. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and have you scan the syllabus. And I want you to pick one thing that you've learned about the class. And we're going to go around the horn really quickly and share one thing that's interesting about what you learned about the class. So I'm going to put a 2-minute timer up, and I want you to read through quietly, identify one thing, and just be ready to share one sentence of something that you. So with that, again. Pick one thing, look throughout the entire syllabus. What's interesting? Scan. A minute and a half. Let's go. We have 1 minute remaining. Find one thing that interests you. Be ready to share it out in 1 second. 45 seconds. Something that excites you, something that we're making, something that we're doing, whatever it might be. 20 seconds. Four, three, two, one. All right. Where my lecture goes here. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want us just to really quickly cruise through, and I want you to just share with me. If you're willing to share, if you don't want to share, that's fine. You're going to quickly share with me something that you saw in the syllabus that is either of interest or exciting to you? Let's just start. Station 1, go. Plate presentation. All right, that's at the end of the semester, but that's great.
Basic math skills.
Basic knife skills. Okay, safety, right? Related to that. Good.
Basic knife skills.
Pass. All right, next.
Basic measuring,
All right, right. That's fundamental to what we're doing in cooking. Is we got to go to measure correctly. Team 2, what you got? The broccoli and cheddar soup. That's a winner. Yes.
We have to make vegetable sauce.
Bechamel sauce. Okay. Yeah, bechamel. Everybody say bechamel.
Bechamel.
Okay, so bechamel is a mother sauce. Okay, it's one of the 5 mother sauces, and you're going to make that. And through making bechamel, you're going to prepare baked macaroni and cheese. Next. Yeah, at the end of the semester, you get to be creative. Top of Bloom's taxonomy. You get to have fun, design a menu, and prepare that food. Next. Baked mac and cheese. Pass. Pass. Baking techniques. Okay, and you might be interested in the next series of the course, Intro to Baking and Pastry Arts, if you like baking more than cooking. Next. Alan, come on. You're excited about me having your grade updated in the grade book, right? All right, next. Just like the top chef, that's fine, right? Next. What is that? Oh, Guardian summaries, right? So Guardian summaries. I appreciate you mentioning that. Okay, who's familiar with what Guardian summaries are? Okay, so you can, through Google Classroom, your parents can, they should have been invited to accessing Google Guardian. And as a result of that, they'll get the weekly reports related to your grades in Google Classroom. That's outside of Skyward. That's just Google Classroom pushing weekly reports to them. Thank you for that. The what? Oh, 60% is D, right? So at least you learned that. So you know that as long as you got 60% or above, you're passing the class, right? Okay, thanks. Pass. Cooking vegetables and water. So that's a Ruby lesson that we're going to do, an online platform, Ruby. Huh? How to select pasta, okay? So a couple different Ruby lessons there. So that is a good sampling, all right, a spattering, all right, of what we're covering this semester, okay? And then we are done in a few minutes here. So quick thing is this. The essential standards, the most important things are the things that we cover in the next 2 weeks. Kitchen safety, sanitation, basic knife skills, measuring, all of the basic fundamental things, food safety, sanitation, all of that, kitchen safety and operations, all of this that we do in the next 2 weeks is the most important stuff of the entire semester, okay? All right, and then we continue to reinforce those things that we learned in the first 2 weeks all semester long. You can see, okay, we did the orientation quiz, and we're going to go through. If you turn to page 2, okay, you're going to see, I'm just going to list some of the things we're going to make. We're going to start off here, and we're going to jump right into, where is, all right, there is actually, you guys, in the culinary syllabus, we're missing an entire page, okay? So we're going to be preparing potatoes O'Brien and doing knife skills. So we're going to be preparing chocolate chip cookies and doing a measuring lesson. Then we're going to move into sauces, and we're going to make bechamel. Next week, baked macaroni and cheese. Next week, the broccoli cheddar soup that was brought up. Next week, vegetable cookery. We're going to do garlic mashed potatoes. That's going to be blended with chicken stroganoff the following week. Okay, so you're going to do moist heat cooking methods. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's missing. So I will give you, why don't you guys actually pass the syllabi all my direction. I'm going to give you an updated version of this. I just noticed when the photocopy ran, it skipped a page. The copier didn't pick it up. So I will adjust that and get that out to you. Just hand them back to me so we don't confuse them with any other syllabi, and I will give you new ones tomorrow. Okay? And then we're going to wrap up the semester with stir fry, rice pilaf. Then we're going to do baked lemon blueberry muffins as a baking lesson. and then we're going to wrap up the semester with apple crisp, okay, served with vanilla ice cream, prepared by the baking and pastry students. Okay, and then you got the top chef activity that was brought up earlier that we're going to do, which is just a creative opportunity, okay, for you to exercise your what you learned for the semester at the end of the semester. Okay, we're wrapping up here. Stick with me. Stick with me. Go ahead and hand those to me, you guys. Give these all, pass them all up this way. All right. Thank you. All right, and I'll get new ones out to the culinary arts class tomorrow. Thank you. And thank you. And then baking and pastry students will have those out accurately. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go to a microphone. I'm already starting to get voice getting a little bit thrashed. So, hey, so check it out. Here's a quote. Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. All right, Peter Drucker. So part of RR&E, right? Let's talk expectations at a higher level. Part of RR&E is you doing the right things. So I promise I will do my best. I am always growing in this area to slow down and acknowledge when you do the right thing, okay? And I'll give you an RR&E card. You can turn that in at the main office in order to be entered into the drawing here in school. Coming into school prepared is important. Present, being here mentally, okay? Being ready to participate, being a professional, and having fun. Okay, those are my 4 P's. That was dad joke level humor right there. Okay, but coming in ready to learn is super important. Okay, coming in also ready to take notes. All right, if you need to take notes during in the culinary arts class, I have more demos every week on Tuesday standard that I do a demo. Okay, once we start labs, and so coming in ready to take notes, you can write those notes on your recipes. But being ready to learn and be engaged is important, okay? We've got the course orientation quiz. I think everybody in this particular section has completed it, but if any other sections have not completed it, that is what is due, okay, right now, okay, here at this portion of the semester. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and release you to a couple minutes to peruse through the the appropriate version of your syllabus. If you have questions, feel free to ask me those. And otherwise, I wish you guys a happy Tuesday and a wonderful week ahead.